Hey everyone, Emily, Dominic, and I decided to do our presentation on RX norm because we feel like it is a widely used system and nomenclature for a lot of healthcare systems, and it is very broad, and we just felt like it'd be really fun to research. So, to get started, what is RX norm? So, RX norm is a standardized nomenclature for clinical drugs. It takes different components of the drug, such as the strength, dosage, and form, and puts it into code form to make it easily transferable between systems. So, it provides normalized names for generic and branded drugs. And it was developed by the U.S. National Library of Medicine. So, the purpose of RX norm is to provide a standard for exchanging clinical drug data and make it easier for physicians and pharmacists to communicate between each other on the matter. So this makes it so that RX norm is easily transferable and is interoperable between the physician systems and the pharmacist systems, and making sure that there isn't any miscommunication on either ends of the prescribing or the dispensing so that the patient doesn't end up getting the wrong medication. The specific system that's used for looking up the RX norm names and codes is RxNav, which on the first slide I inserted a picture of what the RxNav website looks like. And RxNav gives information such as the ingredients, whether or not it's strictly for humans, the dosage, forms, etc. And RX norm helps to provide normal unique identifiers such as the RxCUIs for medications and drug components to support the EHRs, e-prescribing, and just interoperability between the two systems that it's being transferred.
RX norm has several relationships with other terminologies and classification systems. Looking at the terminologies I listed below, we see semantic clinical drug, semantic branded drug, generic drug pack, and branded drug pack. SCD refers to a drug specified by its active ingredients, strength, and dosage. SBD is the same except it's for medications that are under a specific brand name. GPAC represents the packaging of generic drugs, whereas branded drug pack represents the packaging of branded drugs. All of this information can be found on RxNav. The first classification system I have listed is anatomical therapeutic chemical classification system. The relationship here supports drug utilization, enhances research, and improves the quality of drug use. Next, we have NDC and HCPCS. RX norm maps to both of these code sets, which helps provide standardization, improves communication between different healthcare systems. It supports claim submission and accurate reimbursement for medications. Next, we have SNOMED CT. RX norm can be used alongside to help provide a more detailed medication information. RX norm helps organize different drug entities and facilitates better communication and understanding of drugs across numerous healthcare systems, and the relationship it has between these terminologies and classification systems plays a big role in healthcare. We'll now move on to resources and tools. There are also several resources and tools available to access RX norm data. For example, there are file downloads. There is RX norm API. RX norm API allows users to collect information about drugs such as their name, strength, and dosage. RxNav is very similar, but it also shows the relationships between different drugs. Then there is RX Terms, which is a drug interface terminology that helps users complete prescriptions more efficiently by providing more simple definitions for complex drugs. And lastly, we have RX norm current prescribable content.
Hi everyone, I'm Dominic and I will be covering the conclusion portion of our RX norm presentation. So one point I wanted to emphasize is that RX norm supports interoperability and clinical decision making between providers, the electronic health record, as well as pharmacies and research databases. And having a standardized nomenclature for clinical drugs and their unique identifiers is essential for the facilitation of clear communication across the board, as well as the improvement of patient safety and data consistency. I just wanted to thank you everyone for listening to our presentation on RX norm and how it greatly benefits the healthcare industry.